It's probably my favorite Shakespearean play. It's Macbeth. And my favorite DTR that we've ever established comes from Macbeth. And it's from the scene when Macbeth goes and kills Duncan. And because he's so freaked out about killing Duncan, he comes back to Lady Macbeth still holding the 2 daggers that he used to murder the king. And so Lady Macbeth is just absolutely disgusted, and she says, "Give me the daggers," and she goes back to go place the bloody daggers by the 2 guards so that they're to blame. And so during all this, Macbeth is looking in the water, and he's freaking out, and he's just complaining about how, I don't know. But anyways, the point is that Lady Macbeth comes by, and she says her hands are covered in blood, and she just looks at him with this, I just imagine, disgust and disdain, and she says, "My hands are of your color, but ashamed to wear a heart so white." And yeah, that's my favorite quote by far. It speaks to me because in Shakespearean times, women were seen as property. Even a woman as high up as Lady Macbeth was still no more than, the poorest man. And I don't know if William Shakespeare did this purposely, but it was the first time, in history of plays or just written word where a woman was actually more than a man. She constantly belittles Macbeth throughout the play to get him to follow her orders, but she very disdainfully, explicitly states that she just did the exact same act as a man, but she would be ashamed, show as much fear as Macbeth is showing, she would be ashamed to wear a heart so white. So yeah, it's by far my favorite.
Well, I think it would be The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, and why?
Because there was a movie made about it, and we watched a movie about it, and it sucked. And the new one is supposed to be way the fuck better. So I'm excited to see it, and it's by the dude who did Moulin Rouge, and so it's going to be really good. It takes 2 to make an accident. I think that's really good because it really speaks to equality and how 2 people can have an accidental pregnancy, and it's both people's fault, not just the woman's.
That's, wow, deep.
I would probably say my favorite book was The Kite Runner, Great Gatsby. Both of the books, they just had really riveting plots, I guess you could say, whereas more of the other books were focused on literature and more in depth, Beloved would be a good example of that.
Yeah, you would like to share?
I have a favorite quote, but it's actually from a different book. It's from Macbeth. "Stars, hide your fires, let not light see my black and deep desires." I guess that quote just kind of spoke to me because it's, I don't know, it had some kind of emotional calling for me or something. Yeah. And also I guess I can relate it to my life and how I tend to sophomore guy.
My favorite work has to be Woman at Point Zero. I think because it shows us the life of a woman that we don't typically get to see in a place that we don't get to typically see. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests, I'll dig with it. It speaks to me because I'm a writer, so when I read that, it just kind of evokes a lot of emotion as a writer.
I have to say Beloved, even though I love The Great Gatsby and I love the things they carried. Beloved is probably my favorite just because I love Toni Morrison and the way she writes is incredible. Yeah, I just love it. Yeah, my favorite quote is also from Beloved, and it goes something like this. "There is a loneliness that can be rocked, arms crossed, knees drawn up, holding on this motion, unlike a ship's, smooths and contains the rocker. It's an inside current, wrapped tight like skin. Then there is the loneliness that roams. No rocking can hold it down. It is alive, on its own. A dry and spreading thing that makes the sound of one's own feet going seemed come off from a far-off place." It's my favorite because just the way that it's written in such a sort of abstract way, and her listing, it just makes it feel this sort of incredible journey almost, and it kind of brings up so many of the motifs in the book that I just really relate to.
Profile trait that fits me best is communicator. And the IB definition is they understand and express ideas and information confidently and creatively in more than one language and in a variety of modes of communication. They work effectively and willingly in collaboration with others. I think this suits me because I'm pretty talkative and gregarious, and I make friends easily, and I'm pretty good at communicating my ideas and thoughts into words. So yeah, I think that's why.
I would probably say that I'm balanced. The IB definition for that is they understand the importance of intellectual, physical, and emotional balance to achieve personal well-being for themselves and others. And I think for me, being balanced is very important, not putting all of my effort into just doing IB classes or just dancing all the time. I like to challenge myself in school by taking IB classes, but I also like to do 4 nights of ballet a week, and I also like to do summer camp during the summer and read lots of books and draw and watch Downton Abbey. So just keeping a sound mental state by being balanced.
So all of the IB learner profile, I would define myself best as a thinker, which sounds kind of silly, but thinkers exercise initiative in applying thinking skills critically and creatively to recognize and approach complex problems and make reasoned, ethical decisions. I don't know that I'm the most reasonable person, but I definitely question things in order to gain better understanding, and I think that's a big part of who I am, so yeah.
wanted to be a prophet.
I have feigned sleep, preoccupation, or a hostile levity when I realized by some unmistakable sign that an intimate revelation was quivering on the horizon.
We'll shake the tree of dreams, that solitary tree of dreams in the center of the verdant field.
All these little stars that shake out of my cloak, I must save those to use for asterisks.
Nothing rose to the occasion after that.
When the wheels don't turn, it falls.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day.
I become paralytic, tongue-tied, speechless, dumb.
Somewhere a dam has cracked open and a flood of cold sweat spills, drenches your body.
Every time I tried to walk, I fell.
By a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to.
Into the heart of an immense darkness.
I waited for you. You are mine.
You are mine.
You are mine.